My sweet suffering, all my sorrow. I share them with you. Let's duel!
Welcome to this installment of the Digimon 30-Day Challenge as part of Digimon Month 2019 here on the Code Crown YouTube channel. Originally, I found this on Twitter via the user Dorumiko, and while I completed this challenge back from September to October 2018, I thought it might be fun to do it over for Digimon Month 2019 and have the chance to expand on some of my answers outside the limits of the Twitter text limit, as well as maybe see if my answers have changed or evolved since then. Puns. So let's get cracking with today's question.
So, in contrast to day 19 asking about moments that made me happy, day 20 is asking about moments that made me sad. And I'm still not sure there's a moment that tops Wizardmon's death in Adventure. Right. Wizardmon himself, okay, he was a plot device, but the moment itself is sad. Now, don't get me wrong, Wizardmon is a plot device. His his sole role in Adventure is to bring Hikari and Tailmon together. Once that's done, he's killed off, right? And he gets a little cameo in 02 and even a lesser one again in Try to make him feel more significant to the overall plot. But he's not. He's a plot device, right? Um, but the moment itself is really sad because as a kid, like he feels like this much larger character in the overall narrative. It's not really sort of until you go back and watch it that you're like, well, or at least I was, there's not really a whole lot of substance to the character, but remembering that moment as a kid and remembering everything Tailmon and Wizardmon had been through to find the eighth child, to unite Tailmon and Hikari, and then to see Vamdemon just take that all away. And then, the Crest of Light activates, Tailmon evolves to Anjuwamon and opens up a can of whoop-ass on Myotismon, or Vamdemon. I'm getting my terms mixed up. I want to use all the English terms, but I don't know. I don't know, the weeb in me was like, no, use the proper terms, damn it. So yeah, Wizardmon's death. It's sad. It's a lot more sad watching it as a child than as a teen or an adult. Looking back on why that moment stayed so much with me as I went on, and it's just a lot to do with my emotions and my nostalgia to a point almost of Wizardmon's place in the grand scheme of things feeling much bigger than it actually was. Then you get something in Tamers where I touched on yesterday. A moment that made me happy was, Beelzebumon finally, getting through Jerry's bubble and trying to break her free, and genuinely trying to repent for all the harm he had caused, and in particular for murdering Jerry's Leomon. And you can see the good Mon there in Beelzebumon, but Jury is just so wrought with grief and overcome with depression and possessed by the D Reaper, and she just rejects it. And my heart sinks for Beelzebumon in that moment where he tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it didn't even matter. But really, though, the scene is very emotional, and if it doesn't make you feel bad, there is something wrong with you, you monster. And following that, then, I suppose it would have to be Shine Greymon's self-destruction. Um, there comes a point in Savers where Toma turns on the main cast, and he appears to be working for Kurata for the sake of his sister. This, because nobody else but Toma is in on the plan, this drives Masaru crazy with rage. And Masaru tries accessing the burst mode early. Earlier than the plot said he could. What we get is an element of. What we get is an element of the first time Greymon evolved in Adventure. The evolution goes wrong. We get a burst mode, but it's black as night, and it's called the Ruin mode. Shine Greymon then is so overwhelmed with the new power on top of Masaru's rage, which is powering and fueling Shine Greymon Ruin mode's abilities, that he just, after going on a rampage, he self-destructs. And as much, it's funny because, well, it's not funny, it's meant to be a sad moment, but it's funny because as much as Masaru had to do with it, it's really Toma's fault for not being like, hey, look, I need you guys to play along. To somebody that would make sure Masaru just didn't go ballistic. So, yeah, I suppose that's my three. Like, if I had to look back on it, those are my three. So we've got the Wizardmon death, Jury's rejection of Beelzebumon, and then Shine Greymon's self-destruction. I mean, I'm sure I could probably pull out a couple of others from other seasons. The Gatchmon runs away episode in Applemon. That's just sad because it's a terrible episode. That's not emotionally sad. That's just, God, that's awful. 02, well, pretty much everything after the Kaiser arc makes me sad. Frontier, Cross Wars, you know what? I would have originally said Beelzebumon. No, Balmon's. No, not even Balmon. Balmon's death is kind of sad, but he resurrects as Beelzebumon like 10 seconds later. But when Beelzebumon then sacrifices himself to help defeat Lilithmon, that's really sad. But it's entirely undone once Taiki gets his hands on the Code Crown. So I don't really think it counts for anything. And well, oh, come on. It has to be that final sequence between Mako and Mekumon, doesn't it? That's it. It has to be that. That is. Oh, that's heart-wrenching. Yeah, they did good. One of the few times you'll hear me say they did good when it comes to Try. No, Try has problems, but it's not unsalvageable. So yeah, I'll leave it with the anime, because if I go into the games and stuff, I'll be there. I'll be this video will be twice as long as it already is. I didn't mean for this to be a near 10-minute video. I swear I'm not stretching out the runtime for algorithms and watch time. I promise you I'm not. So I'll leave it at that. That is day 20. We have 10 of these to go, and I hope you're looking forward to them, because I'm looking forward to finishing this series and not having to do it ever again, at least for a few years, when my opinions may change again. So, till tomorrow, uh, just be excellent to each other. And I'll see you back here, same Digi time, same Digi channel. God, that was lame. All right, that's it. We're done. Just kill it. Just kill it.